8-page document explaining their thoughts. Now this just happens to be on what was spoken about earlier. That's the central compressor station. Now, I believe you're smart people. You didn't get to the position you're in here in the county without being smart. You need to look at what they're doing at the central. It's in Susquehanna County. They've approved it. It's a huge building approved for 3 compressors. Ha, ha, ha. Till you find out it's the exact same station they're going to use to start the Constitution line that has to push the gas over 12 miles to the state line. 3, we've already questioned it, and the DEP says that's what we approved them for to start it. Okay, but when they need 8 more or 10 more in there to push the gas when it becomes a 30-inch Constitution line, oh, well, we don't deal with that. We're just approving it to go in as 3. They can't bait and switch. Come on, I asked you about your power before, and you said you had none in this industry. Yes, you do. This is the state bait and switching you, and so is Williams, and 25% is owned by Cabot. I'm getting tired of the bait and switch. I was told by Tom Karam, the owner of Laser, that I had a long-term agreement with his company. Matter of fact, it's a 40-year agreement. And it lasted 3 days after they built that pipeline. They sold it to another company. Now they're coming and cleaning up their mess. Williams, Betterment, they have called the landowners and they're coming to correct problems after spending $750 million for that. How'd you like to be in that shoes? You spend $750 million, then you got to come and spill another $250 million to fix all the problems along it. That's the industry taking care of the industry. They don't even take care of each other, let alone take care of us. Okay, next. There are 40 plus people in this room right now. There are 9 women standing. Okay? You have 15 chairs. If you don't know it, my dad was in emergency management for 63 years. This is a fire code violation for sure. You can't have this many people. Plus, I stood up and gave my chair to somebody. You know why? Because my parents are long dead, but if I got caught sitting while women were standing, that's the last time I'd stand. So this is ridiculous, okay? We asked at the beginning of the meeting if we could move to a venue that's more comfortable and more conducive to a larger environment. Doesn't matter whether the 4-H showed up. Doesn't matter whether we hear about the public comment or testimony. That has nothing to do with it. This is uncomfortable, everybody's burning hot, but they're all standing here. And I'm getting tired of coming to public meetings where the officers running it, and I'm not just calling you guys out, I'm talking about every one of them, their job is to get in, get the meeting done, and get out. That is not your job. You don't get paid a salary and a pension to show up every 2 weeks and read what was done last time, pass a few things, and get out the door. That's why I don't do public office. It's a lot of work, and we appreciate that you have to put in the time. But the most important time you put in is when you put yourselves in front of the public, which we appreciate that you do. I'm highly offended. I am going to look into legal remedies on this issue because I absolutely believe, just like the state of Pennsylvania believes, that when I give testimony from public, which is what they call it, public comments, they call it testimony in this letter. That's the state of Pennsylvania. That's not Susquehanna County. I feel ashamed that I'm not recognized as a speaker in my own county that I pay taxes in. But the state of Pennsylvania, when I show up at a meeting, like the one we're going to show up to on Tuesday night for the Constitution line, guys, I have a 16-inch line, and when it goes boom, it's big, if you've ever seen a video. 30-inch in our county, and there's no remedy to it. Okay, let's get to the next issue. Were you aware that they found a new shale in Newark, New Jersey, and Philadelphia? 2 weeks ago, hidden in a fiscal bill in our state house. The Senate and the House voted, and they hid in there. It's called the South Newark Basin. And it so scared the representatives of the state of Pennsylvania from that area that they tacked on, hidden in a fiscal bill. It was found, but hidden in that bill was a protection, a 5-year moratorium on any exploration or drilling anywhere near Philadelphia and its suburbs. You know where all the rich people from Philly live? Yardley, Nakamixon, whatever they call it.
And Crancer.
And Crancer lives there. You know, we're real excited about that. So here's my issue. Can't do anything at Susquehanna County commissioners, can you? You know what? I called all 5 of these representatives. I called McElhinney's office. Republican Senator McElhinney, Republican Senator Minch voted to protect their constituents. My first thing was thanking them. My second thing was, how dare you protect? They all voted for Act 13 and voted for the industry to come here and drill. Right. But they can't be drilling. Now, they claim in this article, it's 3 pages long, that they can do it because it's not covered under the Marcellus Shale. And Act 13 is Marcellus Shale. This is a different name. Well, you know what? I call on the commissioners today. All you have to do, it looks like, is change the name of the Marcellus Shale to something else. Make up a name. Make it fun. Make it roll off your tongue. And then I want my 5-year moratorium. Because we're getting tired of answers like this from everybody. But it's not our job. You said that we have an emergency management plan. Good luck with that. In March, when those neighbors needed water and vent pipes, I called Charlene Mosier of EMA. Can't help you. Has nothing to do with us. That's the head of emergency management. I called everybody. Nobody had an answer. I had to call Bob Full, head of PEMA for the whole state, before something got done. And it got done that fast. Because he has one boss, the governor of the state of Pennsylvania. Otherwise, he can come and tell anybody what to do. I'm very concerned with this because we all have families. Most of you, I'm sure, have families. You have children, grandchildren, you have neighbors, you have people you care about in the area. I don't care. The industry's here, that's great. We're all going to get rich. But the problem I'm having is I can call, now, interestingly, I called Representative Kleimer and got him on the phone. I called all 5, spoke to 4 of their people that represent them. Paul Kleimer spent 20 minutes on the phone explaining his position on why he voted to protect the people in his community. And I said, Paul, I understand. Very admirable that you protected your people in your community. I wish my elected leaders felt the same. And I'm not just picking on you guys. Sandy Major won't touch it with a 10-meter cattle prod. Neither will Gene Yaw. Neither will Tom Marino. Okay, these are Republican conservatives that I just mentioned, 5. They told me, Paul Kleimer said, you don't know the bounce back we're getting. They're getting hammered by the industry for their stance on this. Hammered. Because they're not going along to get along. They're protecting their constituents. So, once again, I'm going to demand, and you're going to refuse, that everybody that spoke today and their comments be put in the public record. This gentleman, sir, what is your name in the blue jacket that works for?
My name is Richard Mackey.
Richard, you said something interesting earlier, that when they answered a question about the terminations and how they were going to help with the new program, that you said you were comfortable because it was spoken in public and in the public record. Did you realize that is absolutely incorrect? They will not have that in the record. They will never admit to it because it was not recorded, except for it's on this camera right here now, so there is a recording of it. The reason for which I have no idea. But you're going on a Hail Mary good faith, and I agree, these are good people. I believe they're good people, they're trying to do good. But the fact that we cannot record it and make sure that that comment you just said, that puts it in guarantee. This is no more promise. This is a guarantee when you have a public official tell you they recognized you, they heard what you said, and they agree with what you said. That's the only way we can hold anybody accountable, by their vote. These 5 brave people, before I finish, Senator Chuck McElhenney, Republican, 10th District, call him. Senator Bob Mensch, Republican 29, Senator, call him and thank him. Paul Kleimer, Republican 145, Marguerite Quinn, Republican 143, Kathy Watson, Republican 144. These people actually stood up and to protect their constituents for 5 years. North Carolina just passed a law that will allow fracking. And the governor overrode it, Governor Perdue. She vetoed it. And then it got overridden by 2 people, both Democrats. She's a Democrat. One voted because she was given $60 million worth of goodies for her district. One voted wrong. Now, I would care to say that if Mike or Alan or Mary Ann today, when they were voting, accidentally said yes when they meant no, you'd allow them to go, whoops, I meant no. And as long as it was still not closed, you would allow them to change their vote, correct? This lady voted yes, thought she was voting no. For 20 minutes, she tried to get the chair to recognize her to change her vote. They refused. They told her she was out of order, she couldn't. That passed it. Here's the problem with it. There is a 2-year moratorium on any drilling while they put together from the Senate and the House side and the state of Pennsylvania's or North Carolina's emergency management, a group of people to go all over to states near them to find out what's going on, to see what they can expect. We didn't get any of that. We got none. We got bought and sold. So here's my problem. Why can the people in North Carolina get protected for years at a time? Why did we just give a 5-year in the state? I didn't know there was a moratorium in the state of Pennsylvania. I thought we were drill baby drill Pennsylvania. That's what we are up here. How can they protect themselves for 5 years till January 1st, 2018? Mike, you're an attorney. I'm confused. If I can't protect myself, neither you have no power, Senator Major has no power, nobody has any power to stop it here. With all the stack of violations in 5 years, we can't even slow it down to say, let's go look at this. Why can we not do it here? And they can, in the midnight, they can pass it in a fiscal bill at the House. Because that's what I'm told. The only way this is going to change is the legislature. But you're never going to get the votes here in the state of Pennsylvania. Well, they sure as hell got the votes to protect the rich people in Philadelphia suburbs. That means what, guys? We mean nothing. Susquehanna County is a joke to them. I don't think what you do is a joke. And I don't think we taxpayers of Susquehanna County are a joke. But they treat us like infant children. Hey, go milk your cows and shut the hell up. Because we in Philadelphia and Harrisburg and Pittsburgh, we run this state. And when it'll go the way we say. So, once again, thank you for hearing us. Please, I'm asking to be on record that if more than the amount of seats you put out show up, we move the venue next door. It'd be much more comfortable for all of us. I'm sure you're sweltering. The window got opened. And I appreciate listening. You know, nobody read that letter out loud. And I'm concerned. That was a wonderful lady, 30 years. You gave her an award. And then she broke down in tears, handing you back whatever was sent to her. And she couldn't even read it out loud because she was crying. I didn't hear it read out loud either. But I'm sure if it was inappropriate enough to take a day that she should be celebrating and be taken out to a nice dinner or lunch by somebody, instead she's crying and handing you back the letter she was sent. That embarrasses me. My money, my county taxes paid for whoever sent that letter and upset that nice lady. I'd like to avoid that in the future. Please, if you're going to err on the side of anything, err on the side of the constituents. Because remember, folks, you've been in for a long time, Mike, Marianne a while, Alan's brand new. You're renting the seats. You don't own them. And the people standing in this room can either make or break the next time you need to have your name check marked. That's the same way it goes all the way across the country in every election handled. We're in charge. If I come to another meeting here and get treated like I'm kind of second-class person, even though I am a resident and a county taxpayer, we're going to have major issues because I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. I'd appreciate that you understand, as community leaders, you hold this position because we, this group and many more, allowed you to. And we can just as easily the next time you're up for election, allow somebody else to be in that position. So, respect us and we will respect you. If we see disrespect, then I know how we have to do it. And I voted for you, Alan. And I'm sad to say, when we spoke right after you'd been elected, before you were installed, I was told that there was going to be some aggressive movement on the gas industry to find out what's going on. I'm hearing you now not say you've been to visit the people I have. And once again, I'm embarrassed for my county that I had to show up and I had to make phone calls to protect my neighbors 2 miles away. I'm not talking about Demick, that's another situation, or anywhere else. I'm talking about my neighbors 2 miles from my home. And I find it highly unlikely that nobody else could help. Not Charlene Mosier, not anybody. But if I poison your well and you're next door by any other means besides this, I could call the sheriff or at least the local police, and they're going to come and arrest you. But they do it, the industry does, and we're all exempt. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for the job that you're doing, and I'll look forward to being at the next meeting and seeing how it goes.
Thank you. Any other comment?
Yes, comments. I have another comment. I would like to ask Sylvia, are you the one who's supposed to be recording the comments while we're all talking? And most of the time I find that you're staring into space or you're like in inner thought, almost like a trance.
Well,
are you the one who's supposed to be recording?
I'm sorry. The questions are to the commissioners. It's
Oh,
not
is
to the
she-
chief clerk.
is-
She works for the commissioners.
So is she supposed to be recording us?
Is she supposed to? No, she's not.
She's not?
This is public comment. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
I have Bob Scroggins.
Yes.
I have one simple question that I think could resolve this. And the question is, why? Why not record it?
Because the commissioner's office has said that it's public comment and it's not recorded.
That's not
But
so,
that
and you know
doesn't
it.
say why.
Any other comment?
No, I shouldn't be brushed off.
Any other comment?
I just have one last question.
Yes.
Back to my issue with
Yes.
emergency management.
Yes.
Just what is the method of alerting people who live here that they have to evacuate? Today, what is that method? How do people know? Let's say there's a rupture in a gathering hall.
Heads up.
And for 2 miles, there's horrible emissions from a compressor station suddenly for no apparent reason. How are the people who live within a mile radius of that location informed that they have to leave home now?
I think it's defined in the EOP.
Don't you
and-
know what it is, though? I don't want
Well,
to read it
no,
out.
I can't,
I want you
I
to
think
tell me.
each township and borough has their own emergency plan. I know I live in New Milford Borough and we have a siren that goes off to alert. We also have an alert system that goes by text and on your phone. And that is for each borough and township to decide how they're going to alert their people. I know in Clifford, I think they go through Clifford Township on a fire truck to get people out.
There's holes in it.
I'm sorry?
There's holes in
There's,
it.
yeah.
There's holes.
You're not, yeah.
Because I was
You can't-
told in my township, well, it's up to the county to plan that. So
Well,
they don't know.
There is a
do.
plan, but I can tell you, I do not believe it's adequate to address the
Are you
issue
gonna be
you
working
brought
on
up
that?
with the pipeline.
Are you gonna be looking into that before they
Well,
get to?
I got a whole story to tell you that we started to work on it 4 years ago with the gas companies
Not
and
allowed to, right?
where that went. But there's holes in it, there's problems, and I
I
can
wanna
tell you,
live here for
I
the
don't
rest of my
believe,
life.
I don't believe it's adequate.
No, you got in the blaze.
Another comment? Motion to adjourn?
We have a motion and a second.
Second. All in favor?
10:30.
10:30.
They reached a new low.
That's fine. It's not for lack of communication with Bob.
Are there any newspapers here?
Not a problem.